Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the host to Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The first of four berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his second season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked a team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the second time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. Second straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Jaworski Tartt came out of Samford University in Alabama. And he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. And this one to Treadwell, complete. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
49ers offense coming out here led by the 28-year-old quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who turned 28 last month. And This is his first year as an every-week starter. You remember last season, all the hope, all the expectation, lost in week 3 to injury. But this year, I think he and the rest of this team, they've broken everyone's expectations, double-digit victories. And Jimmy Garoppolo's had a strong run game to rely on, but he's had some good performances himself, maybe most notably week 14 out-dueling Drew Brees with a 4-touchdown performance in a big win at New Orleans. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week. But you know you can't, so you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Under 10. Hey, alert.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida, and he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here we go. Wait, 54, Mike, 54. I got him.
On 1st down, here's Breida. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch 54.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and they've got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. Gold able to tack on the extra point. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back, but there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar. But top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. San Francisco coming back out here, CD. This is a franchise that this year will end a 5-year playoff drought. That's the good news. Great record, but it could have been even better, really. You think about some of the heartbreaking losses. Overtime to Seattle, a field goal at the horn by Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and then that real shocker against Atlanta Week 15, Julio Jones, the touchdown, no touchdown right there at the goal line.
And that's the one that we shouldn't have been as surprised, only for this reason. They were so injured, so beat up, so many starters not playing in that game. and they took Atlanta to the limit, although I guess we would say Atlanta took them to the limit and found a way to win. But I do think that this 49ers team, with health in the playoffs, as dangerous as any team in the NFC. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
It's just me and you.
Garoppolo gives to Breda. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Here we go. Like 20.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Danielle Hunter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dee Ford, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive 1st half to get that lead. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This, the first of 4 Divisional Round matchups coming up this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other Divisional Round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, 1 play interceptions, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
9 yards is the pickup there. They'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and 1, Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, 66 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he takes it all away, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Garoppolo, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 2 there on the dump-off. It's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Throwing is Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now goal for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And some room to work. And all the way down to the 9.
Come on, fellas.
A huge play there on the screen pass. And even 40 yards. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Throwing, Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll throw again. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on second and goal. Now Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. To throw, Cousins. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Give him 14 on the play. Again, it's Cousins. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.